So I saw a story this weekend, Brady, and, I don't know what to believe on social media. I mean, the less I read it, the better. But that Brady would consider the 49ers. And I do think there are jobs. I mean, you came back and you're a columnist in New York. Those are prestigious jobs. You didn't need to be a columnist. But there are calls you get in your life and go, that's worth having a glass of wine with my wife and talking about, right? And I do think San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, it's not an offense that needs Tom to be. He matches Tom's intensity. They're both very smart, very intense. There's a Belichickian feel to it. You know that's important to Tom. Arians is too loose. It would be an upgrade over Jimmy G. Maybe Tom's got a little of that. It's his hometown. It was his favorite team. I think he has. It's also an offense that doesn't, Ian, ask the quarterback to carry them. It's really a run-centric offense. Do you think he'd take the call and give it a week or two thought?
Not only do I think he'd take the call, Colin, I think he's coming back. I never thought this was the end of Tom Brady as a football player. In fact, when he made his announcement, I don't think he used the word retirement in it. And so, listen, I had a conversation with him on the phone for about 45, 50 minutes, 2017. We were talking about him playing at age 47, 48, never mind 45. But he did set 45 as a goal. He never falls short of his goals. And he actually did. So I don't think this was planned. I do believe, and I always thought this, that something happened down there that hasn't really fully been detailed yet anyway. I never thought he was going to love Bruce Arians' style, the opposite of Belichick with a motto, win or lose, we booze. That is not Tom Brady's philosophy on football and life. So I think he'll either play for the 49ers after. I do think he'll take a year off. But I think he comes back and either plays for the 49ers or Josh McDaniels in Las Vegas. So those would be my two franchises to watch. And I think people will say, you can't take a year off at 45, come back and win a Super Bowl at 46. Well, he's now created yet another challenge for him to conquer by stepping aside for a year and doing it with yet another franchise. So now I'm going to get 8. I'm going to be 2 ahead of Michael Jordan. And I'm going to do it with a third franchise. And you're telling me I can't do that at 46 and 47. Well, guess what? I'm going to do it. So to be honest with you, Colin, I would be shocked if he doesn't play again.
You just convinced me. You've literally rocked my world. I literally, well, you know him better than I do.
Well, no, I don't.
Listen.
I don't. I do not. He did not talk to me for the book. I don't have any sort of personal relationship with. That was my only one-on-one with him was for ESPN.com. And it was about 5 years ago. And it was long, but I do not pretend to know him, but I know a lot of his friends and have talked to them extensively about this and other subjects, about Belichick a lot over the years. And they would be surprised if he doesn't play again. And that Arians relationship, I never thought was going to last. It was productive while it did last, obviously, but he went to a coach who was the exact opposite of Bill Belichick, and it was a short-term thing. And now I think he's ready to try it with a different franchise and again get to ring number 8, be 2 ahead of Jordan, maybe go down as the greatest American team sport athlete ever. Certainly, that would enhance his claim.
Yeah, I never liked Arians taking repeated shots at Tom publicly. I think you can do it once, twice. Sometimes it sounded personal, a little harsh. I think that's Bruce's authentic personality. But, in my years of covering athletes, even the gracious ones, you have to use discretion when criticizing them publicly.
And Colin, I was at his first game in New Orleans, I believe, and they lost. First game with Tampa Bay, and Arians criticized him after that game in his post-game presser. I couldn't believe it. I remember writing about that. Belichick never would have done that. Bill was tough on Tom at all times in practices and film study and so forth. But criticizing Tom Brady after a game, he did that very rarely over 2 decades.
Hi, everybody. It's Colin Cowherd, your affable host. I don't ask for much, really. That little box over there, subscribe box, push that. Subscribe to the YouTube page of the Volume Sports. Now, there will be a brief electrical shock after you do it. But hey, we're all in this together, right?